friends, welcome to another episode of Lala's Listens. Today I am here with KMA. We're going to learn all about what he does, his process, and kind of how he gets into the zone for writing.
Sure. What's going on, y'all? It's KMA, Denver, Colorado artist, Kid Master Architect, better known as. How y'all doing? Thank you, Lala, for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, thank you so much for reshooting again. This is the second time we've had to shoot an interview, so really appreciate you for taking the time and coming out.
For sure.
I know you said you're from Denver, Colorado, but can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and just about you?
Sure, yeah. I'm from Denver, Colorado, a Denver native. I do live in LA now. I've been based in LA for a little while now. But I definitely went to George Washington. Shout out G-Dub. I went to school at Rary campus. And yeah, I've been writing music for a long time. I've been writing music since I was a child. Like elementary school, before I knew what I could do with rap or anything like that. And I've been serious about music now for 5 or maybe 7 years now.
Okay.
7, 8 years.
When you say you were serious about it, what do you mean?
I mean, as far as having a manager,
Okay.
Shortly thereafter, I was signed to an independent contract that finished not too long ago. So,
It's like really being professionally in the
getting
industry.
paid for doing shows, getting paid for features, things like that.
Gotcha. Okay. We love to see it. So
Sure.
getting paid from just this for the past 6 or 7 years. You said you started really young in elementary school. What did that look like?
Honestly, I got in trouble for writing music 2 times in school. Once when I was really young, and once in middle school. Really just rhyming. I just was focused on making a rhyme. Like, okay, what rhymes with this? What rhymes with this? What rhymes with this? Obviously, being a kid, you get to lingering off into, maybe things you don't know about.
Yeah, saying things that you heard, but yeah.
Or talking about girls, or trying to be a gangster, or whatever,
Yeah.
So I got in trouble for that, and didn't really learn my lesson, obviously, because I got in trouble again in middle school. I ended up getting kicked out of school completely.
Because of...
I wrote a diss track for the principal. Yeah.
Do you remember what it sounded like?
Ooh, no, thank God, actually.
But how bad was it for you to get kicked out of school?
Okay, so not just about him. I talked about a few other people in school. I talked about some teachers and some girls that went to school. But I don't know why it was, to be completely honest, because I just linked up with some friends I hadn't met or hadn't hung out with since then.
Yeah.
And I asked them about that, do y'all remember what it was exactly that made it a thing where they were like, okay, no, you're getting expelled.
Yeah.
Well, they tried to expel me from school.
Gotcha.
They don't just kick you out, they have to do all the paperwork. My mom was like, okay, you're just gonna go to private school, bro. Obviously,
This time.
you don't got it figured out yet. We just go, no more music. We're not doing that. Just go to private school and just hang out, chill out. So that was that on that.
Those are some powerful feelings to write a diss track for the principal.
Too much free time. That's when I was just now hooking up equipment and trying to record just whatever I could. Most of it was Lil Wayne beats. I remember doing Fireman back to back, at least 200 or 300 times on freestyle. So it was just fun, more than anything else. And then at that point, I was upset because I got suspended. What happened is I got suspended from school. I had 3 days at home. In those 3 days.
Yeah, that's the time to really just sit in those feelings and let them ooh,
and
how can I?
Yeah, I know. I got something. I could just go record. I just get these feelings out on the beat and then we're good. These were MySpace days. So I made an artist page on MySpace. An artist page. I uploaded this song. I told 2 or 3 of my friends, come at home. I'm not at school. I'm like, hey, this track's online. You guys should go listen to it. Cause fuck bro. First suspended. Fuck that. And it got big enough to where by the time I got back to school, they were playing it in the classrooms. To where they had to realize who this was and what this, okay, hold on. take your ass back to the office.
So it was more so like, we just suspended him. We gotta put our foot down.
Right. So then they're like, okay, well, let's actually listen to it. Let's see why everyone thinks it's so cool and they want to keep playing it. And so then, then they get to hear what a little 12-year-old is talking about, at home with too much free time. So,
It was creative
more than anything else. I got kicked out of school. I ended up in private school, which is a lot more weird than school I was at. I learned my lesson from just how to approach things. Obviously, it was a lesson learned. It's not a no.
No, it was a fun lesson too, because it sounds like a popular song. So
I try to go find it. It's not out there anymore. I honestly would use it. I would post that in one of my albums now if I could. But
that would be hilarious. I would love to see that. Oh, speaking of albums, House of Music, correct?
House music.
House music.
House
so
music,
sorry.
that's
House
cool.
music.
It's all good.
Tell us a little bit about house music.
Okay, so house music is a project that I really made at one of my apartments in Los Angeles at the time. The beginning of this year, I was kind of back and forth transitioning between Colorado and Los Angeles, and I started recording at one of the apartments in North Hollywood, and I don't know, I took some shrooms for the first time. My friends were like, try shrooms, you're here, you're locked in, like if you're just gonna record. I had all my recording stuff. I had, a few people that gave me some tips and tricks on how to record myself and do it proper even when you're at home. I got like a little book for home recording and just did as much research as I could. And
did your due diligence to get it all right?
From there, it was just really spilling feelings from the last year and a half. I've been dropping music consistently, but as far as newer music, that's been a while because I just had a kind of like a hiatus from music, just living life, getting myself right, getting my mind right. And now that I'm back, mentally, physically pushing things back, I feel like it was time to put a project out. So I sat down in a few months and recorded what became house music. There are some older tracks on there, but most of that was recorded at home. A few were recorded in big game studios and touched up. And then I end up even being able to do the final master at home too. So that's really where the sound came from, or the name came from. I know house, there's like actual house music, and it doesn't necessarily sound like that, but there's also some songs on there that do at the same time, so don't get it twisted.
Just check it out.
Right, check it out, tap it.
I like that you had said, your feelings were spilling out, so it sounds like it was like a pretty kind of, I don't want to say intimate, but like a personal album.
Absolutely, intimate is a perfect word, and personal for sure. Personal.
What?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say personal to my feelings, personal to my life. Just trying to keep it as real as I can and relatable at the same time. Because another thing that so many people that listen to my music come tell me is that my music helps them get through their life, like their hard times or lows, and things they can celebrate to and turn up to. So I have to keep that in mind when I'm writing this music that I write. I want to write for myself and kind of be free and open, but I have to keep in mind there's people that are listening to it that want to relate to things. And I played a part into a lot of these songs, like even though it's house music and me spilling my feelings, that still set a pivot point or a point of perspective, if you will, for me to lend a song and lend certain feelings to people that might be going through the same things that I am.
And I love that you said that, you can write for yourself, but also like for other people, or like with other people in mind, because I'm sure that comes in handy when you're writing for other people. So can you talk a little bit about your process when you are writing for someone else?
For someone else, sure. Just for instance, I was working on a song with another artist that I work with, Chico. Shout out Chico and the whole crew, the whole Dungeon crew out here in LA. When we sat down to write the song, we had the beat, we listened to it like maybe 10, 15 times, just back to back to back, just vibing to it. And then he was like, well, what do you want it to be about? And I was like, well, I want you to picture like 5 women in a car turned up, going to the club. He's like, what? I was like, that's what I want you to picture them listening to this song and what you see them doing or what you want them to do. You want to have that type of feeling or have that type of vibe. So that's just one of the random things that I work with. But that's reverse engineering of feeling. So it's just a different way to write or a different way to come up with a concept or to get to a certain point.
Yeah. Start with an image and then go from there. I love that. That's crazy.
Right. Yeah, that's what he was like. Yo, he was telling me the same thing. Like, I've never actually thought of doing it that way, but I mean, free game. So
I love talking to different artists and seeing like what their creative process is because it's so different. Like, obviously, even when you work with different people, it's probably different when you're connecting with somebody. But even like the thought process of somebody who's writing for somebody else. Like, recently did a interview with Zeta, which she's amazing. And talking to her about her writing process, obviously it's different. So I just love it. I think it's just the best part about music is we all have this picture when a song comes on, and it can be completely different from me to you. But figuring out what I would want to hear, like, that's your job.
Right. It is. I think.
Yeah, that's dope. I don't know how you do it, but we love it.
Yeah, I think I have to say part of that is a talent, but if you work hard enough, I'm sure you can get in there and crank out some good songs. There's plenty of songwriters out there that can speak to that. But yeah, there's definitely talent involved in that, and that's what I've been told, and I kind of followed that along with kind of busting my ass to keep doing this.
Yeah. Would you, so, you're 6-7 years in now, would you want to kind of learn a little bit more about engineering and ever take that route a little bit more serious?
Absolutely. It's funny you say that. I kind of been thinking about going to school for it, or maybe just trying to take an internship somewhere where people can put me on game for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Most of it now is just talking to the engineers that I know, which aren't low level, they're industry standard. They've worked on some of the hits that and things like that. So you want to learn from the greats, you want to get in certain rooms and just kind of sit back and peep.
Yeah.
But absolutely, I always want to learn more for sure.
You obviously put together your whole, house music and wanting to further that for another artist. That's amazing. Gotta have your hands in a little bit of everything, right?
Absolutely.
Just makes the process so much easier. Because if you know how to do this and you're working with somebody big and they're like, oh shit, like, I'm looking for this and I don't know what to do. And you're like, yep, this is what you do.
Right.
Okay, so one thing I was talking to with my friend was about routines. Do you have any routines that you do when it comes to your music, whether it's when you're writing or maybe when you're recording, anything kind of like that?
Routines, I definitely have to be in my own private space usually when I'm writing. I shouldn't say how to, because I get in plenty of writing sessions where it's like the studio's packed full of people.
Yeah.
But I would prefer to be in my own space. When I have a clear mind, so I sit down and I actually play like other artists' music before I play mine or before I start to record, just to kind of clear the palette. Like, I don't want to go in with anything, but I just kind of don't. Yeah. I don't want to think about the music before I make it. It's just weird.
You just want to step into that zone and be like, okay.
Or like just hear what's going on and hear certain tracks that might inspire me to do something on the song. So I start with that, and then from there I pull up the beat and just kind of get going. I might now, as of lately, I've been smoking. It's a bad habit. Don't smoke, kids. Not trying to be cool, but I smoke usually right before I start, because that is like therapeutic to me. Like, rolling up, I don't know what it is about that, but just sitting down at the end of the day, like, okay, cool, everything is squared away, like, we good. All right, it's my me time. Everybody be quiet. Let me perfect this blunt. And I usually spark it right before I start rapping, just to kind of give myself a natural just put myself in the natural zone of me just getting home and being relaxed. And that's what people like about my music too. Really what you're gonna see is that I'm following things that people are telling me and just kind of connecting the dots. But making sure I'm relaxed, making sure I'm in my zone, that's really the other routines. And when I record at home, I close all the doors. I kind of tell my roommate right now, like, hey, I'm about to record, turn the TV down, you know, don't. Usually he's really good about it, but it's cool. That's different routine for me.
Yeah, nice little routine. Get in your zone. You always have to do that. Is it, would you say, like, if it's, how do I ask the question? After a long day, would you say it's harder to tap into kind of your creative space? Or is it kind of easier when you're just like, after you do that routine, you're like, all right, I'm just refreshed regardless and can do it?
So I can say that I don't write on a routine. I only write when I feel like writing. That just comes and goes. I can't force it. I've learned not to force that. Once I get to the point where I feel like I'm forcing a verse, I'm forcing myself to write. It's like, nah, because when I'm just writing in my zone, which that I know what that is, it's literally nothing, and I come up with greatness. So, not to sound arrogant, but it's like,
no, toot your own horn. Yes, right, you come up with greatness. Okay.
When you get in that zone and you're writing it, it's literally nothing. So why do things where you're forcing it when it's like I have so many songs that are natural and good. So I'm not ever gonna be sitting in the studio forcing myself for 12 hours to get something done. I guess it'll be different, you know, when I cross over and it's like, hey, this is a feature for so-and-so. Obviously that comes with a great feeling, so that wouldn't be an issue. I'd be like, yo, this is like, yo, so-and-so wants to, let's do it, let's go right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going home right now, we're finna knock this shit out.
On the way.
We're gonna get it right, and I'm gonna send it back to you. What do you want? What's next? So that's different. But yeah, I don't force myself to write. I only write when I want to, when I have the feeling to, when I have beats to write to it. And the beats that I have, or the beats that I might be working on at the time, might not be the feeling that I'm feeling at the time. So, gotta wait for those things to line up.
For sure. Tell me a little bit about your sound. Would you say it's more like on rap, more hip hop, R&B, a little mix of everything?
I would say a mix of everything at this point. Just kind of forcing myself to tap into different lanes and show people that I can make other things besides hip hop. I really started out, if you listen to my things from like 2016, 15, strong hip hop, heavy bars. I'm barring up your bar track, I'm barring with them. Like you could just go back and listen to it, you know. Then it kind of turned into just being mature. So now I'm making mature music, just thinking I'm grown when I was like 18, and just because I was 18. But now I actually am grown, I'm 28. So it's, my music's mature with me, my sound's mature with me over time. Is if you can picture like being young and just trying to do what you can towards, you know, kind of figuring things out or figuring out lessons that you know, keep hitting the head with. So now I'm to the point where, you know, I'm still learning things, but I'm 10 toes down in myself. I'm completely confident in myself. I know what I can do out here. So I'm just following my path, my spirit, and what my soul tells me to do. So.
I love that. And like one of my favorite sayings, and one saying that just always rings true, is that the only consistent thing in life is change. So, you know, us as people are consistently changing, we're consistently growing. So I feel like, you know, that's, like you said, it matured with you, but like, you know, it's constant growth, right? Whether we want to look at it through that kind of creative lens, or even, you know, just you as a person are growing. So obviously your music is going to grow with you and your sound is going to grow with you. So, you know, nice little way to look at it.
But yeah, definitely a lot of sounds, you know, different waves, different categories of my music. If you tap in, I'm sure you're going to find something in there that you're like, this is the one. Some people come tell me about a slow song that I did, like, yo, this is the one. And some people will tell me about, you know, 165, 172 BPMs. They're like, no, this is what you need to be doing every day. So just tap in, you'll see it.
What would you say is your favorite track on that album?
I go back and forth between Wally Cha and probably Bloom. I mean, there's a lot of hard rapping tracks on there, but as far as like me being able to be vulnerable with how I'm feeling and just really do stuff that I haven't done before and be successful at it, that's what I fuck with. I fuck with those tracks the most. That's what I'm listening to back and forth in the car every day.
What does Wally Cha mean?
So honestly, I got it from a WizKid song. There's a song called Fever, and in the song, he's actually saying Walincha, but it's a different language. I can't tell you exactly. I did the research on it, but I can't tell you off the top of my head right now.
It's okay.
So keep honest with you.
We'll put it somewhere,
but
below.
It means to want to return to a simple life, like. And that's what he's saying at the end of the song. He's basically saying, Wally Cha, say Wally Cha. Like, he's just saying, like, I want to return to just simplistic things and just what I'm here to do and kind of let go of a lot of other stuff. And that's what that song's about. Even though, I'm talking about someone in the song, it's also about just saying, like, I'm out of your reach. I'm going to be closer to where I need to be. And just away from distractions and a bunch of things that I don't need, that are going to help me and that I should ultimately let go of.
That's a beautiful title, by the way. Sounds great. Check it out.
Yeah, type in.
For sure. Let's see. One thing I want to do in my interviews is obviously get to know the artist, get to know what you all do, but I also think it's fun to, just ask some personal questions.
Sure.
So, tell everybody one thing that not a lot of people know about you.
I don't know.
You have any hidden talents?
I mean, hidden talents. I can make a bag. I can make you a bag out of a bag, ladies. Like, I can make you a custom purse out of a purse or just out of material that you want. I can do custom pieces like furniture, footstools. I'm a creative. I think maybe one thing a lot of people don't know is that I'm just really, really creative. Music is something I'm very talented in, and I put my best foot forward, and it's ultimately the best thing that I do. But not to toot my own horn, but I'm a pretty smart creative. Consultant for a lot of people that do business. Tap in with me. I don't know.
Anything
Can't
you
create a
need.
website. Like I do my own websites. I edit my own videos these days. I'm an engineer.
You need your kitchen sink fixed, call him, okay? Anything.
Probably
Everything
not
under
kitchen sink. I could probably do that though. I could probably, give me 30 minutes to get the tools and YouTube it. But I mean, I feel like things like that should be easy. If you want to put in the work and actually just get on YouTube, you probably can do that for real.
A little Swiss Army knife got all kinds of talents.
Yeah, there you go. Swiss Army knife. Don't get it twisted. I'm a chill guy, but don't get it twisted.
Do everything. We love to see it. That's awesome. I like when people I feel like most creatives, if you are a singer or a rapper, you have some other creative talent as well. Like there's people who dance and sing and are artists, actual so falls just right in line, obviously. Obviously.
I think you should be tapped in other ways. Before I got serious, I mean, in a few gaps of music, I learned to play the piano. I don't know how to play it anymore, but I've learned to play a few instruments here and there. But yeah, chill guy. Maybe I'm lacking words right now. Maybe I don't know.
No,
Someone's
sounds
gonna
great.
get on my ass, like, you should have said this. What's your problem?
Well, if people do want something custom from you, where can they reach you at for that?
You should come straight to my Instagram. I know it sounds sketchy, but just come straight to my Instagram _K.MA, or just look up KMA, Kidmaster Architect. Either one of those should get you to my page.
Get your nice little custom furniture. Honestly, a hot little market right now too. So
I have 2 Louis footstools right now. and 2 Louis bags that are just collecting dust. I should just take pictures and sell them, but I just want to have a day where I just, bam, 50 pieces, and I just sit there all day. Like, tell your famous friends to pull, whoever got it, pull up. It's gonna be here for 12 hours. I promise you, everything's gonna go. So that's what I'm planning on doing one day. Stay tuned in.
Crafting creatively, always. Awesome. Let's see. Oh, so tracking your own album, you know, putting it all together obviously is something that, you know, you have to be passionate about. You put a lot of yourself into it. Are there any like real like downsides to that process of it just being yourself?
Absolutely. I definitely have a better understanding of an engineer. I'm more grateful for an engineer or even someone that's just tracking me out. Because literally to sit there and hit that button, those buttons over and over every time I mess up, and then I'm in there by myself like, damn, I bet this shit annoying as fuck. Like, to do this for other people, like, I know it's annoying as fuck. So grateful for that. Just having organization, me having to learn that, like, I'm not the most organized person. It just depends on what it is. But with music, I wasn't very organized with tracking or putting certain things in certain places. And I got a template from Ryan. Thank you, Ryan Allen. I appreciate you. That helped me learn. I'm like, oh, this is why this is all organized. Because like, when you have to go fix shit, or if you got to change something, or if you got to send it to somebody else, it can't be all flabbergasted and fucked up like how you said. I can do that because I know, I remember where everything's at. But then I gotta send it to somebody else. I'm like, ooh.
Let me fix this just a little bit.
Like one of the songs on house music, I wanted to do a performance version. I did do a performance the other night in North Hollywood. Shout out to Spot LA. It was 333. And I went to go, you know, bounce the performance out, and usually you would have verse, hook, you know, you'll have some ad-libs up there. I recorded that song all the way through. I don't know about
you know, sometimes you get in the booth, you just gotta go.
Long story short, when I went to bounce out the performance version, I couldn't pick and choose where the hook came in. And I just had to really rap the whole song all the way through with the hook and everything, and it worked out. People liked it, but it's just like, wow, like if I was way more organized, that would have been like nothing. I mean, obviously, a lot of famous rappers, they're not doing these things. You know, you have an engineer that's organizing a lot of stuff for you. You have a manager that's, you know, got a lot of stuff
on
in a way, and make sure you get your show version, and make sure you get this before we leave. And, you know, but learn as you go, and keep going.
Exactly. It's all a learning process. Going back to your show on Friday, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I performed at a showcase at the Spot LA. It was a 15-minute set. Got majority of the room in there was for me, so ended up being a really good
support.
Right. Love the support. Appreciate everybody that came through. Like so many faces, so many people that I appreciate came out and showed that they want to see me keep going and keep doing this, and things like that. They help so much. Just helped with my spirit. The performance was great. Didn't miss a beat, didn't miss a word. Not that that should ever be something that you should do at the level that I'm at, but went great. The owner is gonna actually let me do my first headlining show with him, so be looking out for that. That'll be coming within the next couple of months, so stay tuned.
Tap in. Again, follow him on social media. Is it Instagram or Twitter or?
Go to my website. Go to my website, kmaworld.squarespace.com.
It'll be linked down below.
I'm not a social media person. I have pictures that get posted. You know, I post and, you know, I have my comments and my likes and all that good stuff. But you're going to find me mostly in the music. So just go to my website or look up KMA and your Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music.
So just tap in. You can find them anywhere.
But for Twitter, let me just plug myself. Someone's gonna yell at me for that. Kidmaster _ for Twitter. Instagram is _K.MA. Follow me on both. The website will take you to both. That's where like all my postings are at. This will be on there. Any write-ups I have, any music videos. You can also go through there for merch, for custom pieces, and email me directly through that website. If you want something, you can find my entire discography on there. Go to the website.
Has it all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that was all my questions.
Okay.
Did you have any kind of anything that you want to let people know about you? Maybe some of your upcoming music. I saw, house music just came out, so again, congratulations on that. That's awesome. So glad to hear that your show went great. Obviously, be on the lookout for his headliner. Announcements to come on the socials, so follow him there.
Visuals coming. I mean, next year is gonna go crazy. If you're tapped in, you already know. But next year we're going crazy. More music coming out. Thank you, Lala, for having me. Thank you for all of my support. I'm so grateful for anyone that's tapped in, that's come to tell me that my music's helped them, or just that they like it and that they can turn up to it. So appreciate it, and I'm thankful and grateful.
Thank you so much for joining. Like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Let me know who you would like to see next on Lala's Listens, and just thank you for your time. We're looking forward to your headliner and all the visuals and all the good stuff.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.